Zurubang, Ultimate Battle Royale of everything and more. Battle 4. Act 1. The arena opens. A sound like 1,000 wine glasses shattering in reverse ripples across reality as the dome manifests. Crystalline edges catching light that shouldn't exist, humming with frequencies that make teeth ache and souls itch. Below, a red-spotted desert stretches to the arena's invisible walls. Crimson sand dunes rise like frozen waves, dotted with strange ochre formations. Pillars of rock eroded into mushroom shapes, their shadows long and alien. The air shimmers with heat that isn't quite heat. Zurubang descends from nowhere, his golden coat billowing despite the absence of wind. Forearms spread wide and welcome, eyes scanning a crowd that spans dimensions. Welcome, beautiful ones, to another magnificent slaughter. Today's battlefield smells of iron and regret, my two favorite seasonings. Millions upon millions of spectators roar from stands that twist through non-Euclidean space, fans from every universe, every timeline, every fever dream ever committed to fiction, their cheers creating a wall of sound that would shatter mortal eardrums. Zurubang's forearms conduct the air like a symphony as he announces, "Our contestants! We have a lot of D-tiers today. From the Attack on Titan, Sasha, Blouse, the Potato Girl, Dauphine of Dinner, Titan-slaying glutton. Sasha swings in via ODM gear, lands in a perfect crouch, and immediately starts scanning the arena. Not for threats, for snacks. There might be snacks. From the Elden Ring universe, lesser kindred of rot, skittering nightmare fuel, rot's little helper, absolutely disgusting. The kindred doesn't enter, it emerges, wet, clicking, wrong. Several audience members throw up. It doesn't notice, it doesn't care. From the Space Invaders universe, AIF-73CA, the original Pixel Menace, grandfather of alien invasions, descends ominously. AIF-73CA descends in perfectly timed increments. Left, left, right, right, right. The iconic spacecraft that terrorized arcades, moves with mechanical precision, shoots lasers, that's the whole resume. From Arthur Conan Doyle's works, Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, pipe-smoking problem solver, insufferably correct. Holmes strolls in, already bored. He's deduced 3 fighters' weaknesses and 1 extramarital affair in the audience. He checks his pocket watch. This shouldn't take long. From the Grand Theft Auto 4 universe, Niko Bellic, Liberty City's saddest immigrant, perpetually declining calls, war-haunted. Niko walks in like a man who's walked into worse. His jacket bulges with things that shoot. B-tier, from the Minecraft universe, Steve, the cubic demigod, pocket dimension hoarder, ender of dragons. Steve loads in, netherite armor, diamond sword, golden apples, expression of absolute nothing. A walking apocalypse in blocky form. A-tier, from the prototype universe, Alex Mercer, the blacklight virus made flesh, Manhattan's extinction event, hoodie enthusiast. Alex lands from somewhere high, concrete cracking beneath him. His arm ripples, shifts, becomes something with too many edges. He looks up, hood shadowing his face, and doesn't smile. He never smiles. A shape-shifting bioweapon capable of consuming humans to absorb their memories and biomass. Regenerates from catastrophic damage. Arms become blades. S-tier, From the Dragon Ball universe, Mr. Popo, Guardian's assistant, eternal groundskeeper, utterly unreadable. Mr. Popo is already there. Was he always there? No one saw him enter. He stands perfectly still, smiling that smile, eyes seeing everything and revealing nothing. Act 2. Perception of the fighters. Sasha scans the terrain, flat, open, terrible for vertical maneuvering. But those rock pillars, not ideal but workable. I've fought in worse. Her hand rests on her bow. Some of these things look worse than titans. At least titans were predictable. Her stomach growls. Really? Now? Niko checks his weapons. A combat pistol, an SMG, 2 grenades. His eyes scan the competition with the cold assessment of a man who's seen too much. Some monsters, some things, one man in a funny hat who looks like he's from a movie, and that smiling black creature.
Война никогда не меняется.
He mutters. War never changes, but the soldiers get stranger. Sherlock adjusts his cuffs, gray eyes flickering across each opponent with mechanical precision. The girl, military training, specialized equipment, exceptional reflexes given her musculature. The man with guns, veteran, dangerous at range, psychologically damaged. The creature in the hood, not human, possibly not alive, extremely dangerous. The cubic figure, absurd. But the equipment suggests capability. The insect thing, diseased, animalistic, predictable. The spacecraft, laughable trajectory patterns. And his gaze lingers on Mr. Popo. Nothing. I deduce nothing. This is deeply concerning. Alex Mercer feels the biomass in the arena. Limited, but the humans would do. His arm ripples, tendrils briefly visible beneath the sleeve of his hoodie. The black one radiates something wrong. Avoid initially. Consume the weak first. Steve checks his hotbar with a thought. Netherite sword, shield, golden apples, totem of undying in offhand, ender pearls, good loadout, strange mobs though. Never seen these ones. Mr. Popo stands perfectly still, smile unchanging, eyes like black voids reflecting nothing. He says nothing. He thinks nothing that translates to mortal cognition. He simply is. The lesser kindred of rot, chittering and writhing, skitters in circles, driven by instinct and the whisper of the outer god, whose rot it carries. The AIF-73CA hovers, engines humming, moving slightly left, then slightly right, then slightly left, awaiting the optimal movement to descend one row. Act 3. Masterminds and Horror. May the ultimate battle royale begin! Zurubang's voice shatters the tension like a hammer through glass. The AIF-73CA immediately fires, a green laser bolt streaking towards Sasha, who's already moving, ODM instincts kicking in before conscious thought. She doesn't have walls to grapple, but she has those rock pillars. Gas hisses, cables launch, and she's airborne, swinging wide around the laser's trajectory, building momentum. Niko Bellic steps out from behind a boulder, levels his SMG, and squeezes the trigger. The first burst sparks off the hull. The spacecraft wobbles but holds, pivoting toward this new threat. Its underside glows green, charging. Niko's eyes narrow. He fires again. Sustained this time, walking the rounds across the same impact point. The alien metal, designed to absorb energy weapons from its own era, buckles under the kinetic assault. It was built to trade laser fire with Earth's defense cannons, to descend in perfect formation through waves of plasma. It was not built for this. The third burst punches through. The AIF-73CA shudders, tries to climb, trails black smoke. One final shot. The spacecraft spins once and detonates, 8-bit debris scattering across the sand. AIF-73CA eliminated by Niko Bellic. That was quick. The arcade veteran is forming into a star number 22, moving up to the constellation of the warriors from the past 3 battles. The lesser kindred of Rot scuttles toward the nearest target, Sherlock Holmes, mandibles clicking, rot breath preceding it like a warning. Holmes sidesteps with practiced grace, his walking stick cracking against the creature's head. It barely notices. Fascinating, Holmes mutters, backing away. His eyes dart across the creature's writhing form, the joints, the movement patterns, the way certain limbs twitch independently. Utterly resistant to blunt trauma, the decay appears systemic, possibly supernatural in origin. The creature lunges. Holmes twists, but this thing is fast. A claw rakes his arm, drawing blood, and worse, the wound immediately begins to fester. Black veins spreading from the cut. "Ah," Holmes says quite calmly. "Poison." But even as his vision blurs, his mind races. The creature's underside. When it lunged, there, a gap in the chitin, soft tissue, pulsing, vulnerable. "You!" Holmes shouts across the chaos. The girl with the bow, the hungry one. Sasha's head whips around. "The underbelly! Between the 3rd and the 4th segment! Strike there!" Sasha knocks an arrow, doesn't question it. Survey Corps training doesn't allow for hesitation. The kindred rears up to finish Holmes, exposing exactly what he predicted. Sasha releases. The arrow flies true, punching through soft tissue with a wet thunk. The kindred shrieks, a sound like wet paper tearing, and collapses, legs curling inward, rot blood pooling beneath it. Lesser kindred of Rot eliminated by Sasha Blouse, and a little assist of Sherlock Holmes. Holmes slumps against the wall, managing a thin smile despite the rot crawling up his arm. Elementary. She lands beside Holmes, breathing hard. "You okay, sir?" Holmes examines his festering wound with clinical detachment. "Dying, I suspect, but I've time yet. That was impressively done." "Ah, that was nothing. I fought bigger," Sasha says. "Now I'm starving, though." Steve watches the exchange, reassessing. The food girl is competent, useful. Across the arena, chaos unfolds. Alex Mercer moves toward Niko. The man with guns had annoyed him, and Mercer holds grudges. His arm transforms mid-sprint, flesh peeling back to reveal a blade of bone and compressed tissue. Niko sees death coming in a hoodie. He's seen death before, in the war in Liberty City, in the faces of everyone he ever cared about. He doesn't run. He raises his weapon and fires. Bullets punch into Mercer's torso, his face, his legs. The blacklight virus absorbs them all, flesh rippling and reforming. "You're annoying," Mercer says. "I've been told," Niko replies and throws both grenades. The explosion staggers Mercer, buys Niko 3 seconds. He uses them to run, not away, but toward cover, toward a better position. He's not stupid. He knows he can't win this fight. But Mercer's faster. The blade catches Niko from behind, punching through his chest. "Yebiga," Niko whispers. Niko Bellic eliminated by Alex Mercer. Niko's star flickers into existence among the fallen, quiet, unassuming, grateful for the silence. Roman can't reach him here. Mercer consumes, biomass flowing into him, and with it, memories of a Serbian village, of a war that broke a man, of a cousin who just wanted to go bowling. For a moment, something like emotion flickers across his face. Then it's gone. Sasha watches from across the arena. She's seen comrades die before. It never gets easier. "We need to work together," she says to Steve. "That thing in the hoodie, it's not human. I've seen Titan shifters, but this is worse." Steve considers. On one hand, alliances are temporary. On the other hand, the hoodie monster is clearly the threat. He nods and throws her a golden apple. Sasha catches it, eyes widening. "Whoa! Sasha doesn't question food, ever. She bites down, and warmth floods her system. Regeneration, energy, a feeling like sunshine made edible. "Oh," she whispers, tears forming. "Oh, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever tasted." Without hesitation, she rushes over to Holmes, who is slumped against the wall, black veins crawling up his arm, and shoves the apple toward him. "Here, eat! It heals!" Holmes takes a bite. The warmth spreads. The rot slows. His vision clears. Momentarily. Then the warmth fades. The black veins pulse again, slower but still creeping. Ah, Holmes examines the apple with dying curiosity. Regeneration, temporary, the poison remains. Sasha's face falls. He takes another bite anyway. Exquisite, regardless of enchantment status. Holmes has calculated his remaining time, 4 minutes, perhaps 5, and he's using every second productively. He observes the battlefield, cataloging data. The cubic man has resources. The virus creature is nearly unstoppable but focused on consumption. The girl is capable. Military background, clear combat experience. And the black one? Mr. Popo hasn't moved. Through the entire battle, the explosions, the deaths, the screaming, Mr. Popo has stood in exactly the same spot, hands clasped behind his back, smile never wavering. Holmes limps toward him. "You," he says, "you're the variable I cannot account for." Popo's head tilts slightly. "Hello. You might have ended this wretched affair already. You possess power rather beyond anything present in this arena. I deduced as much from our announcer's tier system and from the manner in which reality itself appears. Apprehensive in your proximity, yet you remain idle. One wonders why." "I'm in no rush," Popo says. Holmes laughs, a genuine sound, perhaps his last. "You know, in my world, I believed I understood the boundaries of human capability. Then I encountered Moriarty, and I came to understand the boundaries of human malevolence. But you are neither, I suspect." "I take care of the lookout," Popo says. "I train those who wish to be trained. I have done this for a very long time." "Then you recognize potential when it presents itself." Holmes glances back towards Sasha, the girl swinging between rock pillars, fighting with everything she possesses despite being thoroughly outmatched. That one. She fights like someone who has peered into the abyss and elected to bite it. Popo's black eyes follow Holmes' gaze. He says nothing. "I have devoted my life to observation," Holmes continues. "The criminal mind, the desperate mind, the brilliant mind, but rarest of all is the spirit that simply refuses to yield." He coughs, black veins crawling up his neck. "She has it. Whatever transpires her, that one deserves to see the morning." Popo says. Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, sits down in the red sand. The rot has reached his heart. He feels it stopping. "Extraordinary," he whispers. Sherlock Holmes eliminated by lesser kindred of rot. The detective's silhouette burns into the sky, another constellation watching from above. Mr. Popo's smile doesn't change, but his eyes follow Sasha Blouse with something that might, in a being of infinite patience, be called interest. Act 4. Endgame. Remaining fighters. Mr. Popo, uninjured, unmoved, unsettling. Alex Mercer, enhanced from consumption, fully regenerated. Steve, full resources, totem of undying unused. Sasha Blouse, regenerated from golden apple, ODM gas at 60%, determined. Mercer rounds on the survivors. Sasha and Steve stand together, an unlikely alliance of cubic warrior and Servicorp veteran. 2 for 1, Mercer says. Efficient. Steve throws an ender pearl. The world lurches. One moment, Steve is 30 meters away. The next, he's behind Mercer, sword already swinging. The enchanted blade bites deep, fire spreading across virus flesh, and for the first time, Mercer screams. "What is that?" Steve doesn't answer. He swings again, and again. Sharpness V carving through biomass. Fire aspect cauterizing faster than Mercer can heal. Sasha doesn't wait. While Mercer focuses on Steve, she launches herself upward, ODM gears singing. She's fought titans from above, found their weak points, carved them out with surgical precision. This monster might not have an ape, but everything has vulnerabilities. She spots it. The way Mercer's core mass shifts to regenerate, always pulling from a central point in the chest. "The center!" she shouts to Steve. "Aim for the center!" Steve adjusts. His next swing targets exactly where Sasha indicated. Mercer howls. But the blacklight virus adapts. That's what it does. His body shifts, becoming less humanoid, more nightmare. Multiple blade arms, armor plating, tendrils erupting from every surface. He catches Steve's sword on a chitinous growth and pulls. The netherite blade holds, Steve holds, but Mercer is A-tier for a reason, and Steve, for all his power, is still bound by physics that make some kind of sense. The shield shatters. A blade pierces Steve's chest. The totem of undying flares, golden light erupting, pushing Mercer back, healing the fatal wound in an instant. "What?" Mercer recoils. Steve eats a golden apple and keeps fighting. The crowd goes absolutely insane. "He's gaming! He's actually gaming! Totem clutch! Totem clutch!" The Minecraft section starts a chant that sounds suspiciously like C418's Sweden. Sasha uses the chaos. While Mercer focuses on the miraculous resurrection, she swings wide to a rock pillar, lands, and unslings her bow. The same bow that saved a boy at Utgard Castle. The same bow that never misses when it matters. She knocks an arrow, draws, finds that central mass she identified earlier. The core where Mercer's biomass keeps pulling back to regenerate. "Hey, ugly!" Mercer turns. The arrow flies true, punching through the center of his chest, exactly where his human heart used to be. Mercer staggers, screaming. Not a killing blow, nothing seems to kill this thing, but it buys Steve the opening he needs. The netherite sword carves deep, fire spreading across virus flesh. "You insect!" Mercer roars, ripping the arrow free. "I've been called worse," Sasha shouts back, already knocking another arrow. "Usually by my commanding officers." She loses again. This one takes him in the shoulder, spinning him, keeping him off balance. Steve presses the advantage, sword singing. And for a moment, it almost looks like they're winning. But totems only work once, and Mercer doesn't make the same mistake twice. He feints towards Sasha, making her dodge, making her waste gas, then whips back to Steve with speed that shouldn't be possible. The next blow takes Steve's head. Steve, eliminated by Alex Mercer! Sasha watches the blocky warrior's body crumble into items and experience orbs. She lands on a rock pillar, gas reserves low, and even worse, out of arrows. She's alone now. Alone with a monster and whatever Mr. Popo is. Mercer looks up at her, healing from her earlier strikes. "You're good, better than I expected, but you're still just human." Sasha thinks about running. She thinks about her friends, Connie, Jean, all of them fighting their own battles in a world that never stopped trying to kill them. She thinks about the potato she stole on her first day, and how that moment of stupid, impulsive hunger defined her entire military career. She picks up Steve's dropped netherite sword. It's heavier than her standard bow and arrow, but it's enchanted. It actually hurt the monster. "I've been just human my whole life," she says. "Fought things bigger than buildings, watched friends get eaten alive. I'm still here. She drops from the pillar, ODM gear launching her into a horizontal spin, building momentum, building speed. And I'm really, really hungry! She hits Mercer like a guided missile, netherite sword leading. The blade carves through his shoulder, separating arm from body. She doesn't stop, keeps moving, keeps cutting, using every ounce of skill the cervicore beat into her. Mercer regenerates. Of course he does. But she's making him work for it, forcing him to constantly rebuild, keeping him off balance. Annoying, he growls, just like the other one. His form shifts again, faster now, adapting to her aerial style. Tendrils shoot upwards, predicting her trajectory. She's out of gas. The ODM gear sputters, dies, and Sasha falls. Mercer catches her by the throat, lifting her off the ground. The netherite sword clatters to the sand below. Any last words? Sasha chokes, gasping. But she's not done. Her hand finds one of her standard blades, chipped, damaged, but still sharp. She drives it into his eye. Yeah, she wheezes. I really wish I had breakfast. Mercer roars, dropping her. She scrambles for the netherite sword, and a black hand intercepts her. Mr. Popo stands between them, holding the sword casually. He hands it back to Sasha. Ah, Popo says. That's enough of that. Mercer's arm dissolves. Not cut, not torn, simply ceases to exist where Popo touched it as he walked past. What? What are you? The gardener, Popo says. Mercer panics. The blacklight virus throws everything it has. Blades, tendrils, hammer fists, all the biological weapons it's ever consumed at the small black figure that shouldn't be threatening, but is. Popo doesn't dodge. He doesn't block. The attacks simply don't connect. Reality itself seems embarrassed to let them try. You're strong. You could level cities, perhaps countries. But I trained Goku. I have served Guardians for 1,000 years, watched them rise and fall, and I am still here, watering the flowers. His hand touches Mercer's chest. Time to rest now. Alex Mercer, the blacklight virus, the monster of Manhattan, unravels. Not consumed, not destroyed, simply returned to nothing. Every cell, every absorbed memory, every stolen life, released. Alex Mercer, eliminated by Mr. Popo. Mercer dissolves into light, his star joining the fallen above. It flickers red and black, unstable, like it's still trying to consume the stars around it. Old habits. The crowd is silent. Even Zurubang seems momentarily at a loss. Sasha stands in the sand, netherite sword in hand, her standard blade still dripping with Mercer's eye fluid. She looks at Popo, who looks back with those void black eyes. She says. Thank you? You fought well, Popo says. Better than many I've trained. And you're very hungry. Remind me of Goku when he was small. Is that good? Popo considers. He turned out okay. Sasha blinks. Are you going to... do we have to... Fight, Popo shakes his head. No. I think you've earned this. You challenged something far beyond your power and made it bleed. That takes spirit. He turns to Zurubang. I give up. The victory is hers. The arena shudders. Zurubang descends, all four arms spread wide, eyes gleaming with delight that transcends dimensions. Unprecedented! But what a sweet outcome. Mr. Popo eliminated by choosing peace. His star rises, if you can call it rising. It's simply there now, where it wasn't before. It doesn't twinkle, it watches. Act 5. Victor. The crowd erupts. The Attack on Titan section is losing their minds. Flags waving, ODM gear replicas firing into the air, someone crying into a potato. Winner, Sasha Blouse! Sasha stands in the red sand, netherite sword still clutched in her hand, tears streaming down her face. Around her, the constellations of the fallen glow in the arena's sky. Niko, Holmes, Steve, even Mercer, their forms outlined in light. "I won?" she whispers. "I actually won?" Sasha walks toward the arena's exit, Steve's netherite sword slung across her back. Her ODM gear is spent, but she's carrying something far better now. She turns, hesitant. "Zurubang, can I keep this for the next battle?" Zurubang scratches his head with 3 arms simultaneously. The 4th consults a rulebook that exists in 11 dimensions. Huh, no one's ever asked that before. He flips through pages that scream faintly. "I don't see why not. Spoils of war, very thematic." Sasha clutches the sword tighter, eyes shining. "Thank you." "Now, go eat something. You've earned it." Sasha is already chewing something. No one knows where she found it. In the space between battles, Zurubang tends to his domain. Adjusting controls that don't exist in physical space, scanning rosters of fighters yet to come. "Not bad," he murmurs. "The hungry ones always surprise you. So, who is next? Because there's always a next battle."